Parshat Vaykira begins the parsha of Korbanos. Korbanos are the heart of Avodas Hashem, the heart of Avodah Beis Hamikdash, and as profound and as important as it is the difficulty in understanding the reasons behind it. Many Rishonim, Rambam is very famous in giving a very radically different pshat. His pshat has to do with weaning off Klal of Avodah Zarah. Ramban argues very strongly on him. Ramban says his own pshat, and I'd like to focus on Ramban's pshat. Ramban gives a pshat al pi Kabbalah. We'll try to understand it in what we can understand, not the Kabbalah of it, but the meaning of it that we can understand. So Ramban's words are, there's a great sod. It has to do with the Gemara Menachos that Shimon Azay says in Parshas HaKorbanos. It doesn't say Kael, not Alekecha, not Alekim, not Shaka, Ele Yudke Shemam Yuchot. Shaloi Litein Pischem Pele Baldin Lachlik. So that there shouldn't be any mokum whatsoever for Ra to have any foothold in it. Maybe you think that he needs food. Pasuk says, Baruch said, if I'm hungry, I wouldn't tell you. Everything is mine, and so on. Rabbi again says that wherever carbon is mentioned, it's mentioned with Yud K. Now, the Ramban discusses this Chazal, whether or not the word Elokim is used there or not, and so on. But still trying to understand exactly what is the point of this Chazal and so on. Ramban elaborates, and the Ramban speaks about carbon being a type of craven achdus, and he leaves it at that. So it's unclear. I mean, the Pasuk, yes, it's Chazal do tell us that we don't have any other name of HaKadosh Baruch Hu mentioned, only Shem HaVayav. It doesn't really help us get a reason for it. And Ramban just concludes that the word carbon is not from the word sacrifice, but the word kreva, nachtos, closeness, and so on. So let's try to understand what I think is the meaning behind what Ramban is trying to say, and try to understand it in the words we can understand it. Mitzvahs are commandments of HaKadosh Baruch Hu to us, and we are obligated to do them. And if a person does it, he's fulfilled his duty and obligation, and as such, there's a reward. There's also the person himself becomes elevated through it. Many good manifestations of the right that he's done when he does a mitzvah. But a mitzvah is inherently HaKadosh Baruch Hu telling me to do something for some sort of purpose. The purpose is to help someone. The purpose is to create kedusha. Whatever the purpose is, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to do it. If the king tells me to do something, I obviously do it. If the king sends his underling, his viceroy, his governor of the province to tell me what to do, I'm also obligated to do it under the pain of some sort of insubordination, because if I don't listen to the king's personal messenger, I am guilty. So the world of mitzvahs is HaKadosh Baruch Hu telling me what to do. Theoretically, it could come through others also. The Rambam says that all prophecy is through a malach, and if a prophet tells me something, if a prophet told you something, he has to do it, even though it's a malach that told him to do it. That's the world of tzivuyim. That's the world of mitzvahs. There is only one ruchnistic activity where it's a very different, almost opposite a type of interaction. And that is me going, offering something to HaKadosh Baruch Hu in terms of acknowledgement, in terms of wanting to get close. Just like always, gifts are a way in which a person goes and gets closer to someone. So in the world of Ruchnis, there's also a world of gifts, and this is it. So Korbanos is a Ruchnistic activity that is almost the opposite of the mitzvahs. Mitzvahs is initiated by Kadosh Baruch Hu. It's told to me either by Kadosh Baruch Hu or some sort of go-between, perfectly legitimate. My doing the mitzvah is the result of being told to do it, and as such is a fulfillment of my obligations as a subject. That's the world of mitzvahs. Korbanos are initiated by me. The parsha starts with nedavas, with a korban nedava. Yes, there are korbanos that are obligated if you did some avera, or that tzibur as such is obligated. But really, the averas, the korbanos that we bring for averas, are really a subset of korbanos. Secondly, those korbanos that are there as part of the yontiv, the korbanos tzibur, they can also be thought of as being similar to the voluntary korbanos. They're simply, when you're dealing with a klal as a whole, with Klal Yisrael, well, who's going to volunteer? Everybody's going to bring their own korban tzibur. That can't be. The only way you can have a structured offering on behalf of tzibur is to mandate it and to place on the tzibur. But one can also see these korbanos as is similar in its idea as the other type of korbanos. This type of religious activity, this type of avodas Hashem, is there not as the expression of subordination of Kadosh Baruch Hu, but as a desire to reach out and connect to Kadosh Baruch Hu. It starts with me, and it's an expression of a craving for closeness. This is very similar to when we give a gift. When we give a gift, we are we're expressing in word and in deed that I desire to come close to such and such a person. That's really what I'm doing. So Korbanos is the type of avodas Hashem that I'm expressing the desire to be close. When we're fulfilling our obligations to do things that we've been told to do, that rightfully can happen through a messenger also. So if I say that such and such a Navi came and told us to do this, and that's why I'm doing it, he said it in the name of Hashem, certainly I have to do it. But to become close, to seek the closeness of someone, has to be to the person directly. The Rambam, when he speaks about Zohar, how the mistakes of Zohar got started, he points this out. It was the desire of people to sort of respect, elevate, show appreciation, and things of that nature to God's messengers. Let's try to give an analogy that would help us understand it. If somebody sends, if I'm working for a corporation and the boss sends down somebody to me and says, listen, I need you to do this and this, I have to run and do it, and it's the right thing to do. If I send a gift to my employer and saying how much I appreciate working at this and this company and it's wonderful and so on, that's a nice gesture. But let's say I send a gift to someone else, not in line of his or her work, but I'm doing it because I want to get around the boss, kind of, it's something where I'm sort of playing a game, and I'm basically getting on their better side. That's something that's really not appropriate. And the boss is one boss. For a person to try to reach out and connect to any one of the elements in the Bria that do not have their own independent meaning or existence, that's something that's wrong. That's the beginning of Avodah Zarah. The recognition as if there is some independent alternative entity that's divine. So the Ramban is saying it's meloshen kreva va'achdus. It's a unity because the entire Bria. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu is telling many different pieces of the Bria to do their job. Every Shevet gets told what to do. Every animal gets told what to do. These are many different directives, and they almost imply as if there are many gods. But when each and every entity, element in this world turns around to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and says, I seek to draw close to you, that means that the entire universe is focused on one point, on becoming close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And that creates the Achdus in the Bria. So if we're looking over here on the Ramban's an understanding of Korbanos, and it's an incredible understanding of what the inner meaning of Korbanos is. We explained that there are two avodas Hashem. One is commandments that emanate from Hashem, spread out, and different beings are commanded to do different things, sometimes the same, sometimes different. And following through is recognizing HaKadosh Baruch Hu's rule, totality of rule over the world. And as it comes out, we see more and more different variations of entities that are significant in the world. That's one. And that's fine. Then there's a second avoda that's very different. That avoda is an avoda where the entire world turns around to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and tries to draw close. The most elementary expression of a desire to draw close is gift giving. I give of myself because I want to be bonded to you. So I'm sort of cutting something out of myself, expense, and giving to you. It's not chas v'sholom as if we're giving to fulfill a need. That's what the Ramban brings a pasuk, that if I'm hungry, I will not turn to you to eat. Everything here is mine. So there's nothing here that you can give me. It's not giving to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, but it's reaching out to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's each and every part of the Bria reach out to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. This is what a korban is all about. It's something which is meant to reach out. We explained that the Korbanos are by and large mostly voluntary. There's no limit to how many voluntary Korbanos you can bring. Those Korbanos that come to forgive, to atone for some Avera, even though they're mandatory, but the point is it's mandatory for me to reach out and reconnect with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's sort of the act itself is me reaching out. It's mandated. The Korbanos that we bring in holidays that the Tzibur brings, so we try to understand it as being also in essence a voluntary thing, but just because when you're dealing with the public, you can't rely who's going to be the one to do it, and therefore we have therefore Korbanos are the expression of us reaching out to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And that's what Ramban says. You cannot have any name other than Yudke Vavke, any Koach, Mida, Hanhaga, Sphira, anything but the Es HaKadosh Baruch Hu is a deviation. That's what's unique about Korbanos and what it is expressing.